Welcome back to Dropping the Needle. It's your boys, Pat Artist, and Niche. This is episode 13 for August. Yeah, dude, I keep fucking up August and September. August 2022.
August.
Yeah, I know, but bro, we were trying to promo Brittany's new store, Danger Zone Video. Go check it out here in Mount Juliet, Tennessee. And yeah, we were trying to do these promos last couple weeks or whatever for it on all the shows, and I stay fucking up to date on all of them. Of them, I'm like, this shit released in 2021, 2020.
I mean, earlier you said August, I got this thing coming up in August 9th.
I'm telling 20th. You, time is just some bullshit right now, But anyway, this is Dropping the Needle. This is Quick Sixers album / pop culture review show, and this month happened to be my pick. So I gave Adam a list of 5 or 6 albums. You were like,
you actually no, I think you gave me 3.
no. I gave you a list, and then you were like,
you did.
You picked your top 3, and then I asked you.
You narrowed it down,
yeah. Which one? But I was like, dude, that list I sent you, I was like, he's not gonna like any of this shit.
I did. I just think they were I knew they were I liked it. Actually, I liked the list because I knew they were your favorites. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Not necessarily mine. So
yeah, I do. I fuck with that list. All of them will probably get eventually put on here, but fucking spoiler alert. So it's gonna be David Bowie's, or I guess technically, what? What?
Your mic was covering 90% of that shit.
Oh, I know. Let me fucking yeah. So David Bowie's The Rise and Fall of Ziggy, Stardust, and the Spiders from Mars. So here is the 2022 art vinyl or whatever. What do they call this shit? Picture vinyl?
Yeah, picture vinyl.
So this is the official Bowie. I think this happened after he died. They started doing this shit called official Bowie, and with the 2
with
Aladdin Sane lightning bolt type of things. Yeah.
This is pretty limited edition too. This is number 1 of, or you know what I mean, something of.
Not that I see right now.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, it could. Who knows? But I think it's kind of cool. Also, the picture blown up is kind of interesting. I've always thought it's weird that it says, that K West on there. I always thought it was kind of interesting. Yeah. It's so weird. But anyways, the picture vinyl. This we got at what did I say earlier? I'm gonna pull it up. I have it up. I'm sorry. Comeback Vinyl in Alpharetta, Georgia. We got this there. It's pretty cool. We got a couple other things. Actually, 2, I think 3 of the albums that I put on that list, I got there. So I was like, yeah, we'll
nice.
Do that.
Nice.
But yeah, it's a 5, 6, what, fucking 11 tracks on this. Not that long. I think it's half hour or whatever. Oh, fuck. Actually, I'm gonna pull it up. How long it is?
That's what I was going to ask you too. There's an extended version, right, on Apple Music?
Yeah, and I think that one has
anniversary edition.
Yeah, there's an anniversary edition on there, but we're just going to talk about the original one for the review-ish part. But we should talk about the other versions. I haven't even really looked at when I was listening for review or whatever of this. I think I've listened to this. I've listened to this album a fuck ton of times, but
yeah,
for review this past couple of days, I've been listening to it. It's only 39 minutes, basically 38 and a half minutes.
Yeah.
I want to show the other 2 things that were in this vinyl came in it that I didn't fucking discover until right before the show. So there's this kind of, there's this picture of the Spiders from Mars. So
that's the sleeve of the record.
Yeah, it's in inside. It's liner notes, but it's not.
It's just an insert. Okay.
Yeah, it's an insert. So this is Spiders from Mars. So it's David Bowie, Trevor Bolder, Mick Ronson, and Mick Woodmansey. So these guys, that's them. Also, there's a ton of people. If you look up who played on the live tracks and stuff, on the tour, there's a ton of people ton of people, like
Yeah.
a bunch of keyboards, bunch of synths stuff. There's also this weird poster that was in it that I didn't know. Which kind of looks like it's probably like some kind of like promo poster type of thing.
Yeah. Is it like it kind of looks like it would like be like in a newsprint or something too,
Yeah.
right?
And it's got like this weird thing. It says David Bowie is the star man. He's thin and he's English. He's got orange hair and he sings and plays electric guitar. I love that has to be like said. But
Yeah.
he's got a hit record called Starman, which is from his new album called The Rise and Fall of Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars. David Bowie, he's Ziggy Stardust and he's beautiful. That's what it says.
Nice.
So very weird. Super strange. Anyways, this is Quick Sixer Show. So kind of show what we're having for this. So I recently went to Bearded Iris again for somebody's birthday. We were just talking about it. I had some ramen. There's a secret ramen place there. So anyways, I was looking at the stuff that I brought back.
It's not
home.
a secret.
Yeah. It's not a secret anymore. So I was like, man, I'm going to get this fruited sour ale called Willy Nilly.
Oh, nice.
For this show. It's got cherry, blackberry, and plum for your, sour notes. It's only 5.6 though. Yeah, and that's gonna be first that I have. What about you, my friend?
I'm gonna keep it local, like always.
Yeah.
Pretty basic. But a little twist to it. The coconut juicifer.
Ooh.
I might have had it on here before, but it's back coconut again for seasonal. Yeah, that's seasonal.
Yeah, that's seasonal. There's a lot of like coconut shit happening right now, and I'm like, ugh, I don't know.
Well, they had the same batch, like our same recipe last year, I guess, but this one tastes a little different. I guess not so coconutty.
You know how like some sours have like a very distinct sour smell?
Oh yeah,
this definitely has that.
I can't do a lot of sours. Most sours I've had are I'm like,
yeah,
too tart.
Whoa. That shit slaps. Okay. Oh God, it's pretty good. All right, cool. So this is Bowie's fifth album and fifth studio album, right? Released June 16th, 1972. Currently it is number 40. It was number 35 on Rolling Stone's 500 greatest albums of all time.
Wow.
Which is kind of interesting because it so the two albums that come out before and after are Hunky Dory and Aladdin Sane, which this t-shirt's an Aladdin Sane thing. Apparently what the whole thing about Ziggy is that and there's a movie about this too, which is kind of interesting. So there's a Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars movie, which is just it's basically just the last show. It's like a concert documentary. So let me read what I don't want to fuck it up. So let me read what it actually is. So Bowie retired the character of Ziggy Stardust July 3rd, 1973 at a concert at the Hammersmith Odeon in London, which is filmed and released as the documentary Ziggy Stardust and Spiders from Mars. So that's kind of cool. I think you can watch the last iteration of that.
Yeah. Because it was like a persona or character that he was like building for last few what was it though? It was like two or 3 years, or was it?
Well, it's only one. So
1 year.
Yeah, so it premieres in 72, right when this album drops, and not like barely a year too. So and he retires it in July 3rd, 1973. So the album comes out June 16th, 72. So just over a year. And then he calls it quits. Yeah. And then like his next persona. So that's the thing about Bowie. He has like a bunch of personas, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
It says, not wanting Ziggy to define him, Bowie created a new character for his next album, Aladdin Sane. which he described as Ziggy Goes to America. It's there's also a live album of that called Live Santa Monica 72. Which is kind of random.
Yeah.
Because 72 he would I guess he would. Yeah, he'd still be Ziggy, so
Well, it probably recorded and probably just released later. You know what I mean? Like the
mm-hmm.
beginning of 73 or something.
Mm-hmm.
So that would make sense.
Yeah. But anyways, there's this weird era of like this between Hunky Dory and Aladdin Sane where Bowie's like exploring androgyny and being like some kind of like alien creature type of situation. And this is the peak of that. So there's like, Hunky Dory where, on the front of Hunky Dory, I think he's wearing a dress or a wig or something.
Yeah.
And before that, I think he has an album where he's wearing a full dress. But this one is like this, what they call a fictional androgynous and bisexual rock star who is sent to Earth as a savior before an impending apocalyptic disaster. In the story, Ziggy wins the hearts of fans but suffers a fall from grace after succumbing to his own ego. So, inspired by Vince Taylor, Iggy Pop, and probably Mark Bolan, I would say.
Yeah.
This character. You're not a huge Bowie fan, Adam.
I'm not.
Yeah. Where would you put this as far as like
if you like gonna... it, like you said, the biggest song, yeah, of course, is Starman. Like, everybody knows that song, and it's the song that defines this album for sure. There's a couple other good songs on there too, but yeah, Starman is definitely the one that defines them. And it's not my favorite Bowie album. Like, the thing is, I wouldn't say I don't really have a favorite Bowie album, actually. Like, that's how much I don't listen to him, I guess.
Yeah.
But there's songs that I'm like, oh, I like that song, and then come to find out, like, most of the songs I like about Bowie are like singles or like deep cuts or
yeah, this random shit.
Yeah.
This particular one, I picked this one because not only is it's a concept album, right? So
yeah,
throughout this whole like 70s era of Bowie, he's constantly creating different personas for himself. So you got Ziggy, you got Aladdin Sane, you got Thin White Duke, you have even before that though, you have you have Major Tom. Like, there's this whole era of like him just changing personas. But this one was definitely I think there's a fun quote from Rolling Stone and by Brett Showitz. I hope that's how you say your name. But
well, I'll say it's just definitely like everybody. I feel like it's everyone that I know is a Bowie fan. They say that this is their favorite album.
Well, it's like, I think it strikes that like error, not it's like the time, like how long it is. It strikes like the perfect time length of an album. Like, you can listen to it and not be overwhelmed by the length, but it's also like all the songs are good. Like, every song on here is good.
Yeah.
But I really want to find. I'm gonna find this quote from my boy Brett on here because it's pretty cool. Okay. Well, this isn't the one I want to say, but this is kind of interesting. He says, the title track is a triumph in songwriting, while Suffragette City, which I think has the dopest synth noises in a rock song there is. I think the end of that shit hits so fucking hard.
Yeah.
And he says is straight out of the Velvet Underground playbook, which I think I agree.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say too. I I like this album because I'm glad you picked it, because like listening to it, I realized that it does have a lot of elements from that era of this, the early 70s. I always feel like there's
Mhm.
like a lot of, I could hear a lot of Neil Young or a lot of, other bands,
Yeah. There's a lot of weird shit on it too that I like a lot of
yeah,
weird what's it called? Ad libs in the back and like weird shit you can hear.
yeah,
Um but yeah, definitely I'm not even a huge Velvet Underground fan at all, but it definitely you can tell there's some shit that hits like that. I would even say Suffragette City in general is more of
yeah,
like a T-Rex song, you know.
yeah. Yeah, that's what I was going to say too. That's what I was thinking of, this T-Rex.
Yeah.
It's funny because like, you're the one that kind of like in high school and stuff introduced me to T-Rex. Like I didn't really know. I mean, I've heard about T-Rex, but never really like listened to T-Rex. And then I think you were listening to it. I was like, oh yeah.
You know what's weird about T-Rex? That's funny that you say that, but I got the first time I listened to T-Rex was because Dill found a T-Rex album at like some music store
Oh
or
yeah.
Best Buy or something.
Uh,
And he picked it up and he's like, we should get this. And I was like,
yeah.
why? And he's like, because it says T-Rex on it. Like, he didn't know what the fuck it was.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
I mean, yeah.
I was like, all right, cool. So we get it. Yeah. And I find out, half the people I listen to are, you know, have been inspired by Mark Bolan and
Yeah.
T-Rex. So it's like, I mean, you could even say that Ziggy Stardust is almost I would say almost a toned down version of Mark Bolan in this time.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't know. I haven't seen any album shit, but anyways, he says our boy Brett says this release was monumental and one of the most important albums in glam rock and rock in general, and it's
Yeah.
Bowie at his
I'd
absolute
say.
best.
Yeah.
Um, I would definitely say yes. And just to put in perspective of where Rolling Stone is currently ranking this, and like on the front and back ends of this album,
Mhm.
30. So this is number 40 currently. Number 39
Well,
is Remain in Light by Talking Heads, and 41
yeah.
is Let It Bleed by the Rolling Stones.
Yeah. That's like again, yeah, that's a good sandwich, like to be
Yeah.
sandwiched between. That's funny. Because I was
That-
thinking the same thing, like Talking Heads, Rolling
It's
Stones.
it's kind of
There's a
it's
lot of
kind of
Rolling
wild.
Stones on this. Like, yeah, I
Oh
feel
yeah.
like too.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what I was
Definitely.
gonna say. Like one of my favorite songs I listened to it was the Moon Age Daydream.
Mhm.
That song.
Yeah.
At the end of it, I was telling you the last minute of it, dude. That shit goes hard.
Yeah. Oh, it's so weird too cuz like
Little solo breakdown.
it's so good. Actually there's a there was something I was going to say something about that. You mentioned that and then I saw it mentioned in something when I was looking up stuff about this album. It's it's so random. I think that solo on that I think it's on that song was
Uh-huh.
improvised.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Um which what's even weirder? This thing says it's most of the songs on here were written at the same time as Hunky Dory, which a lot of people say Hunky Dory is their favorite album. But
Yeah.
I don't know. This one it starts off good with 5 years. 5 years is there's some questionable lyrics in there now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, but it definitely is like I don't know the albums that I like the best. And some of the ones on the list I sent you, there are songs on it that you can completely, if you were closing your eyes, you can completely see what's happening.
Yeah.
So and just to what comes to mind is like Biggie's Ready to Die.
Mhm.
There's shit you can see the whole landscape of what he's talking about. 5 years
Yeah.
is one of those songs. I think Lady Stardust is one of those songs. Um,
Yeah.
talking about um a drag queen that's singing and like breaking heartbreaking some dudes at a club.
Yeah.
Which is super interesting for the 70s,
Yeah, for sure.
but mm, 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 mm,
And dude,
mm.
like, I mean, I was just thinking about this because I had to look it up just now. But Rocky Horror Picture Show came out in '75, so that was probably
uh Yeah.
You have some leeway for that.
Yeah, definitely. Um it says this is um so if you like this album, which is kind of yes, I think most people that like oh, hold on. Photograph monogram. Ones outside the homes of Furrier. What's Furrier? Oh, so K West, so we mentioned that earlier, is a furrier.
Yeah.
So people who make furs.
Oh,
Kind of interesting.
that's what it's called.
It's a
That's what they
furrier.
would.
It
What do you
says
do? I'm a
fur clothing is
furrier. You're a furry? No, I'm a furrier.
furrier. So it says fur clothing is clothing made of furry animal hides.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. Anyways,
Fur.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
Yeah. This is
So,
super random. So this is also the same time that like I believe that Bowie would be hanging out with Iggy Pop and you know, a lot of like random uh like I don't know, like this is right before like he was hanging out, I guess right before he was hanging out with Iggy and like all those like punk dudes and shit and like
yeah.
getting in it with what's his name in Germany when he took like the 5-year stint in Germany.
Oh yeah.
With fuck me, dude. Why can't I think of this dude's name right now? I just blanked so hard just now. Do you know who I'm talking about? Is a music producer. We've talked about him a bunch of times. Fuck. I'm gonna look it up right now because it's bumming me out. Dude. So if you look at it, there's an album called Bowie in Berlin. And there's also a book, an accompanying book. But this is right before all of that happened. So when it's called the Berlin Trilogy, which is kind of interesting. Okay. So it's Low, Heroes, and Lodger. So those are the 3 albums, or yeah, Low, Heroes, yeah, and Lodger. Those are the Berlin Trilogy. And so he goes to that's what it is. He goes to after this glam rock fucking super show for the early 70s, goes to Berlin for like 5 years and records these 3 albums, which a lot of people, you know, Heroes fucking slaps. Low, I know you don't like Bowie's nearly as much as I do, but I think you would appreciate Low like a lot.
I mean, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have listened to a little bit of that. Yeah.
Low's really good. Also, every dude on the planet has Bowie's hairstyle from Low right now. So it's like, what the fuck? But anyways, he goes there to record those with Brian Eno. And in the same time, before he worked on this trilogy, Bowie helped co-write and produce Iggy Pop's debut solo, The Idiot. So this is all. So basically, the timeline is Bowie goes from like straight-laced, just like the Rolling Stones did, go from like straight-laced wearing suits and shit, Top of the Pops type of thing, and you know, putting out Major Tom and all of those, you know, Space Oddity songs, and then he goes into this full-on, like he you know, he has a hit and he's like, all right, cool, I can milk this. Goes into a full-on fucking glam rock phase for like a good minute, you know, goes to America and basically figures out, you know, meets all these people, Iggy Pop and, you know, the Stooges, whatever. This is when punk's happening. So most people are like really into like original punk too, like hardcore fucking shit.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, he's going through America and also he's from, you know, the UK. So he's seeing, you know, probably, I don't know, fucking Sex Pistols and, you know, all of that shit happen. So it's so weird that he goes from this glam rock thing, this like full high energy type of persona to going on tour in America and then coming back to Europe and then going straight to Berlin and making these three, like, I haven't listened to Lodger really, but Heroes and Low are really good. So it's like kind of interesting, and they're like kind of clean cut looks. So it's like,
Yeah.
what was he, after like hanging out
It's
with
almost like, yeah, it almost seems like, I mean, I can't remember exactly what dates like new wave starts, but you know what I mean? It seems like that's kind of like the
right
transition
before
into
it.
that, like,
Yeah.
right. Yeah. Like the you know, pre new
Like,
wave, I guess.
yeah, this definitely feels like it's,
Like he set it up. He set that up for sure.
yeah.
Well, I mean,
Um,
then also, I guess what Talking Heads, what did you say? Like Talking Heads was, oh, well, I guess you just said it was on the list, but I wonder what, what date that came out? Like Talking Heads was,
I'm opening the link right now. So that was 1980. So it
okay.
makes sense to me. And this is like the
Yeah.
one too. It's like it's the one with talk. It says Talking Heads, and like
Yeah.
all their
They're going,
faces
yeah.
are have red
Uh,
paint on them and shit.
yeah.
So it's the one But
Yeah.
just like to think about this whole like this weird transition in his career. I mean,
Yeah.
this is of course Low and Heroes and stuff are like the Thin White Duke era where
Yeah.
he's like super on coke and shit. So
Yeah.
it makes sense he
Well,
was hanging out with Iggy.
yeah, what's great, I always find interesting about Bowie in respect is the fact that he's had like, was able to reinvent himself so much, but without compromising, you know what I mean? Without being like he made hits without being like but on his own standards. Like he wasn't trying to fit in like
Yeah.
with, the Eagles or like, whatever was whatever Stevie Nicks and,
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, he
that,
definitely wasn't playing into that like soft rock bullshit.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
there's no Eagles, there's no
yeah.
Tom Petty. There, none of
And
that.
so, but I mean, he had major hits, but still somehow felt like,
Like an
underground or
outcast.
like, maybe like,
Yeah.
yeah, like and still had like a cult following now, you know what I mean? Even though
Mm-hmm.
it's like a major name in music.
Which, yeah, it's kind of crazy, right? Like
Yeah.
he's very unique in that way. Like he definitely kind of feels almost punk.
Yeah.
But still he had like a fuck ton of albums. Like how many
Yeah.
like I want to see how many albums he actually had real quick. I'm gonna open up something.
Even his
Um
last album, which is sad, but it's good,
yeah,
dude.
it's super sad, but like he had I'm pretty sure that was his highest rated album ever, which is kind
Yeah.
of interesting. Black Star was.
Yeah.
It's also
Mm.
the only one I heard an interview about it. There's been multiple Bowie documentaries throughout the years, but he made
Yeah.
one right before he died. Um, Recording, he had a Broadway play, and he also he wanted to record Black Star in secret, and he recorded a lot of what was going on because he knew he was
Yeah.
dying. So it's kind of interesting. Um, so he it's fun. It's sad, but like at the same time, he knew it, and it was like it's interesting. Yeah, it's interesting to like think about that he knew
Yeah.
he was dying, but he was like, I'm gonna do the album that I've always wanted to do.
But it's also the ultimate like Bowie thing to do, you know what I mean? Because he had, if you think about that, and then like all the other phases that we were just talking about, he had, a different phase for every part of his life,
Mm-hmm.
new character, new persona.
Yeah, and it's really cool. I mean, the thing I think that made me really really connect with Bowie on that on like is some kind of level. The reason I started liking him was like he has this thing about him where he feels like he's really trying to like live life as hard as he can, you know, like do as
Yeah.
much as he can while he's
Yeah.
here. And like maybe the Ziggy Stardust persona was like a nod to live as much as you can in the short time that you have, because he, cut that off in a year.
Yeah.
But it's still interesting to think about because he had so many personas. Speaking of, he had 26 studio albums, 21 live albums, 46 compilation albums, and 10 extended plays.
Yeah.
So that's fucked. I don't have all of those. I think I have like
I was gonna
3.
say that I remember this one because I think we listened to it a lot in high school, but I think it's like an Essential Bowie or something that came out
Yeah.
in maybe early 2000s, the best of Bowie or something.
Yeah, best of Bowie. There was a single one where you could get the first disc, but then there was a
double disc one. Yeah,
double disc was the fire. Yeah,
yeah.
Double disc. I remember specifically the second disc. I think has Heroes on the back end of it. It's not even up at the top. It's like it's really random. But yeah, so
but I wanted to talk about too the documentaries. Go back to the documentaries. The 5 years documentary.
Yeah, that's the one I was referencing to. Like, the one in Berlin.
Because that's is that what it was?
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, it talks about that, but it's really talking about like how David Bowie only had like essential 5 years at the first 5 years of his career was like what made him David Bowie.
Yeah, pretty much. It definitely made
and like
the
that's what I'm
ramp
saying,
up.
this album is definitely the peak, like we were saying, is the peak of those 5 years.
Yeah, 100%. And it's so weird to me that you can release these albums so close. Like, all right, so I'm gonna pull up this right now. Also, I really like that Apple Music does like the weird like videos at the top now. So so strange. And you can just click on something and it'll just start playing some like deep cut type shit. Kind of cool. But yeah, so he released, a fuck ton of albums we just talked about. But these ones in particular, the ones that we've been talking about. So The Man Who Sold the World is the one with the full dress that we were talking about earlier. But yeah, you're right. 69 is, or 67 is his first album, and 72. So yeah, the peak of those 5 years is Ziggy Stardust. So but like it's so crazy to me that you release Hunky Dory in 71, Ziggy in 72, and then Aladdin Sane in 73. Which the Aladdin Sane, if you look at it, I'm gonna show these album art. So if you're watching the YouTube version of this, you can see this, but he releases Aladdin Sane and then Pinups and then Diamond Dogs year after year. It's basically the same persona. The Aladdin Sane one kind of lasted a little while, it looks like. And then he went on his, American tour and shit. And then like you get the Thin White Duke. So it's just, dude, this dude was just cranking shit out,
Yeah.
And it's weird to me, like when I talk to people that really like Bowie fans. So like Drew's wife, Catherine, loves Bowie, fucking loves Bowie. And me and her, it's kind of interesting because I didn't know that at first about her, but it was a cool thing. Like, when you're like, you're at your homie's house and you're like, oh shit, what can I connect with like their spouse about?
Yeah.
And that happened to be the thing. So it's cool because she was really into, I think, Low and Hunky Dory. And I'm like, huh. They're like, those are not the ones I would have picked. But it definitely made me listen to them more. Yeah. Shout out to the second beer I'm about to have. Green Man. So if you ever watched, this has been tripping me out. So True Detective, right? First season. Are we talking about the Green Man, the man with green on his face?
Oh yeah.
The little girl's like, oh yeah, this dude with green, it's fucking Grass Man fucking got me. I think that's what this is supposed to be. Like, I'm not positive, but hit us up, Green Man Brewing, if this is what you're fucking going for. So like,
well, let's know what the art is.
Yeah. So this is the Wayfarer American IPA. This is 6.0. Where are they from? They're from Asheville. Okay.
No, nice.
Asheville, North Carolina. So this is going to be interesting. So you boys on the road to 1,000 on Untapped. Go and follow your boy for any updates and check all of our feeds for that white tile series that we've been doing. But this is the first time I'm trying this. So sorry, Green Man, if I have a shitty face, if it's bad. So I can't hide anything. If you know me.
I think I missed what type of beer it is. I'm guessing it's an IPA, right?
Yeah, it says American IPA.
American IPA.
Yeah. Ooh,
bro.
Look at that shit. That's kind of pretty. All right, bro. You guys are getting a good score so far. It's got like that classic fucking, if you Google image of beer, this is what this looks like.
Just like stock photo of beer.
Yeah. Actually, I wanted to give a shout out to, of course, my favorite. So Beer Diaries again. This Willy Nilly was pretty fucking good. Also, shout out to this can art. This is dope. Yeah, feels very cool. Like African influenced.
All their
to me.
Artwork is like very, very slick,
I like it, yeah.
Remember the beers you sent me, they were just like that. I mean, but it's like not even like the camera doesn't even do it justice, just like messing with it, you holding it, it's very,
it's
like,
pretty
reflective.
I hope one day we're gonna go. You're gonna come up here and we're gonna go. So
yeah, for sure.
But anyways, what do you think? First sip before we keep talking about Bowie?
Yeah,
it smells nice. It smells very, very IPA-ish. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Like the original, tried and true American IPA.
It's like a Budweiser IPA ad. Pretty good. All right, cool.
Nice.
Anyways, I kind of wanted to wrap it up about Bowie. Because I think we've talked about it quite a long.
There's a lot to talk about. I mean, I'm glad you chose this one because I was like, oh, cool. Yeah, it's one that I knew you were passionate about it. I knew you had a lot to say. I actually had more to say as I was listening to it, thinking about stuff to say.
That's good. It's good. I knew I liked this. I've always loved this album. Also, you know what? I feel like it's one of those albums where you like, when someone asks you what's your favorite Bowie album, and this is the one you say, it's almost embarrassing because you're like, everyone's gonna say this one.
Yeah.
And it's like, fuck, man. Do I really have to say it? Like, I don't know. Also, I wanted to give a shout out to Diamond Dogs, which is an album a few years down the line from this one, which is basically spillover from Ziggy and Aladdin Sane Days. A lot of people really fuck with that one. And it's
what was it? So it was like B-sides or something?
No, it's a full album. It's just shit that was written throughout this whole time they didn't use on those two albums.
They wrote it but never recorded it.
That's
what you're saying.
Yeah. Gotcha. And shout out to our boy Brad. That was his favorite one of Bowie albums. And it's so random too. Like there's some weird shit on there.
That's cool because like I'm like kind of the same way too with like artists. Like I find as I get older, like and just listening to different artists, like finding like their deep stuff. I'm like, oh man, like this, this might be my favorite. Like,
I'm listening to a lot of random shit that's like, I don't know, going back, like, I don't know. I remember when we met and we were really both getting into music pretty hardcore, like finding what we liked. Yeah. And I remember randomly like going across albums and being like, all right, like I like this song, so I'm gonna get this is the days of when you bought CDs to listen to shit. You didn't, couldn't listen to anything streaming. Unless you actually, they were probably like LimeWire and all that stuff wasn't really a thing. Like Napster, all that bullshit. But anyway, it was like you listen to one song, you're like, all right, I'll buy the album, check it out. But then like you'd buy some shit and be like, huh? Like when you're at the this is so, dude, date CD ourselves store. For real. Like you're at the CD store and you're fucking rustling through the albums. And you're
and like And a lot of times too, like it is funny because like you're talking about Dill doing the like this is T-Rex. Like, I mean, I can't tell you how many bands I've found doing that, like
Mm-hmm.
bands that I'm like, wow, I found this band at, 13 or 14, and now, at 30, like,
Yeah.
a few years later they have like a greatest hit or something. You're like, wow,
Wild.
there's bands I'm finding out, like the band The Rapture. Remember them?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, finding them like 2008, and then like later, and finding out that they have like these huge hits,
It's crazy.
seeing people's success, or like, the Black Keys too. That was a band I've
Yeah.
been following from the beginning. Like,
Yeah. Dude, I was tripping. This is a random story, but the other night I was about to go to bed and I was like doing a whole bunch of like house bullshit, right? And about to go to bed, and like I noticed something on like the fucking comforter, or it was a quilt. We had a quilt on it on the bed. And I'm like, what the fuck is that? So I hit the light on, and of course it was like one of our cats threw up on the fucking bed. Right. I was like,
oh
God
man.
damn it. Like, bro, literally about to like pull the fucking sheet like to get in, right? And I see this.
Yeah.
I'm like, God damn it, dude.
He's just staring at you like, my
Yeah, no,
bad.
seriously. He's like, oh, what's up? I'm like, bro, come on. So
Dude.
I
Yeah.
had to wake. Meg was asleep. So I wake she wakes up and I'm like, and she's like, what's going on? I'm like, can't get in the goddamn bed. Like, it's fucking dope, like right on my side. And she's like,
Oh
oh
man.
fuck. And I was like, and she's like, go grab the t-shirt quilt. And
Yeah.
I was like, all right, cool. This is a blanket that she made for, I guess for us, but mainly for me. It's a bunch of old like concert t-shirts and
Oh, nice. Yeah.
whole bunch of like festival t-shirts and shit that
Yeah.
we'd gone
I
to.
think we talked about doing that too, like with some shirts that we have.
Yeah, it's rad, and it's also
Yeah.
it's probably my favorite blanket. I'd say it gets soft,
Nice.
it's nice, but like
Yeah.
so it's on. So we do the whole thing with the sheet, change it out, right? And I'm looking at the t-shirt quilts, like it's spread out on the bed the next morning, and I'm looking at it, and I'm like, holy shit! Like I'm talking this thing, Adam. You probably love it. It has like almost, I think, all of the years except for the year me and you went alone
Yeah, about
to Bonnaroo.
Bonner. Nice.
It has all the
Yeah,
Bonnaroo
I think I've
t-shirts.
seen this blanket you're talking about.
Dude, I'm running through like the lineup because it has the lineup on it, right? We bought those
I don't know.
t-shirts with the
Yeah,
lineup on it. And I'm like, holy shit. Like we saw some shit in our day,
yeah.
And it's like I was at dinner the other night talking about something, and the people we were at dinner with are much younger than us. And I said something about like going to whatever at this time, I think. And they were like, bro, how old are you? I was like, fuck you, bro. But yeah, no, like on those lineups,
I think that's a good thing, because it's like maybe you tricked them, maybe they thought you were younger, then they were like, you started talking, they're like, wait, what?
yeah, no, I think so. But like it trips me out because like, yeah, you were just mentioning Black Keys, and we're like, Black Keys are a fucking huge band,
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing is, I've seen the Black Keys, I don't know, like
multiple
I'm trying to think
times.
now, like four times or something now.
Yeah.
First time I saw them, I think, was in Memphis at the New Daisy Theater, dude. This is my favorite.
The
This
New
is still like
Daisy?
top. Yeah, it's top 5 favorite shows, because it was them, and then Jay Retard opened for them. You remember Jay Retard?
Really? Holy shit.
Yeah, huge,
R.I.P.,
bro. I mean,
right?
like,
He died, right?
yeah, like but that's when he was like,
Big.
I mean,
Yeah.
he was big, but like just still local, and like,
Yeah.
starting to catch on. Then like 2 years later, I think from that is when he started getting, like, Spin Magazine was writing about him, and
Wild.
these music outlets. And then shortly after that, he passed away.
That's
R.I.P.
insane. R.I.P. Jay Retard.
Yeah.
But yeah, it made me think on a lot of those t-shirts, Black Keys played Monterey a lot,
Yeah.
So I was like,
What's funny too is, like, not to interrupt you, but
no, you're good.
I have there's a guy I work with. His name is Brian.
Yeah.
And he's like really into music. We talk about music all the time. But
That's cool.
we talk about, what's funny is we got on the topic about Bonner, and he was actually at Bonner in I think 2006.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so we're talking about it, and dude, I think it was at 2006 and 2007, or maybe it was just 2007. But anyways, we talked about that Kings of Leon show. Like he was at that same show. Do you
Oh
remember
shit,
that
yeah. That was
when the power went
2007.
out?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, when the power went out.
Yeah. Dude, same year actually, I think was dude, if you look at that
It was
lineup, it's
Kanye, and then we talked
fucking
about Kanye too, and that was
oh
Kanye
god.
was that's 2007. Yeah,
Yeah, I think so.
or no,
2008
yeah,
maybe.
because I didn't go in 2008. I didn't go in 2008.
I thought you did.
Did we?
Yeah. I think we went
Oh, maybe we
we went
did.
for like 4
Maybe it
years in
was
a row
2008.
maybe. I don't know.
It was 1 year I missed.
But anyway, that's cool. You got something to chat about. That's kind of weird. That was one of the first things that me and Drew connected on was he went to that 2006 show and
Oh, yeah.
2007.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and I was like, holy shit, like you were at the same shows as me and Adam. And he was like, yeah,
That's
yeah.
crazy.
Like I think we met him we met up with him in 2007 for like 5 minutes. But
Okay.
he was on one that year. So like whatever. When you're in your early 20s, like get after it,
Oh yeah.
guys.
Yeah.
If I could tell,
Yeah.
if I could tell anybody in their early 20s like some advice, I'd be like, bro, just push that shit to the limit, like push it until you can't.
Yeah.
Because when you hit 30, you're not doing it anymore.
Oh yeah. You're drinking 3 beers, smoking a bowl, and passing out.
Yeah, you're done. And that in those early 20s, bro, you could smoke like 5 blunts, like a whole 12 pack to the head. You got stamina when you're in your 20s.
Man, yeah. The other night, it was a couple weeks ago. I told you about that. I showed you that photo. I sent you that photo of that bottle of tequila we got.
Yeah.
That blue boy.
That blue boy.
Dude. So like, man, I went in. I don't know. Chelsea might have like had the same amount. I think I had like 5 margaritas or something.
Oh my god. Dude. Faded.
Yeah. Like 3/4 of the bottle was gone. And then the whole next day I was like hungover, like throwing up all morning and shit.
Oh my
like
god.
Just, my stomach.
Amateur shit right there.
A weak ass stomach.
Your stomach hates you, bro. Like it hates you so much.
But it was so funny because I was just like, yeah, my stomach, man. Like, I have a stomach ache today. Like, I don't know what's going on. Like, I think I got some food poisoning. John's like, no, you're just hungover.
Yeah. No, you're like 34. You
fucking died.
Yeah. No, bro, you're 34. You can't drink a whole bottle of tequila to yourself anymore.
It's like white girl wasted.
Oh my god. Showing them hairy tits of yours.
Yeah. Fucking taking tequila shots.
Tequila shots. Bro, I can't even tell
Actually,
you.
Wasn't.
Oh my god. Oh, you know what? The last time I took a tequila shot was in Florida, I think. And when my brother was like, oh bro, we should do, I think he was like, oh, I won't drink that. He's got some weird shit about like drinking booze. But like,
what do you mean?
He's like, I don't know. He's just like sometimes not into it. Yeah, huh? I don't know. Like but booze. Like he'll be like, yeah, I'll drink beer all day, like literally all day.
Yeah, but dude,
I don't know what his deal is.
Like what?
Yeah, I don't know what his
I'm
deal
gonna have
is.
to ask him about that. Like,
yeah. So he's like, yeah, I'll do.
You don't enjoy cocktails, like
I love cocktails, like,
yeah, right.
But this motherfucker's like, nah, I don't know. Like, I'm like, okay. But anyway, yeah, he's like, yeah, let's do some shots, like start the night off. So we do
there now. He's drinking.
This motherfucker, his whole fucking body, I feel like just feels like just like crumbled in on itself. His whole 6'5" ass body.
Giving himself a hernia.
No, it wasn't even that. It was just like everything twitched. Like this man had a tick in every part of his body.
Oh, no.
Like, what the fuck? But
what were we all drinking? Tequila?
I don't know. I think we did a tequila shot, and we definitely did a couple shots of Jack Daniels.
Oh man,
for sure.
I haven't had Jack. Oh man,
yeah.
Oh, man, that was my drink coming up, dude. Like in college and shit.
I remember there was a lot of Jack Daniels at your apartment or house. You had a fucking house in over in Orangebound.
Yeah.
That was wild.
Yeah, dude, a lot of whiskey. I don't know why it's so funny too that was like the first, like, it was like, oh, like Jack and Coke.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense.
Like favorite. Yeah,
that makes sense for a Tennessee household, honestly. Like,
yeah,
it's a very accessible alcohol.
You ever had Jack Daniel's Green Label? It's like the sour mash version.
Dude, I think so. There's a dude. All right, so I've had so many. So shout out our boy Dan. He was really into Jack Daniels for a long time. Yeah. And so, like, I think a lot of the specifically Jack Daniels experiences were probably started with him there.
Yeah.
But in Memphis. But I don't know, like I don't know, man. I've graduated to some better shit. So also, you get more money as you grow up.
Yeah, it's called life.
More options.
It's the game of life.
It's a fucking shitty game. But anyways, wanted to go back, wrap this up about our David Robert Jones, aka David Bowie. Born January 8th, 1947, died January 10th, 2016. And then right after he died, Black Star comes out, I think like a month later, 2 weeks later.
Yeah.
Which is kind of crazy. Maybe it was a week later. I'm about to open this shit up real quick.
Yeah, it was very.
Yeah. Oh no, it died. He died 2 days after the album came out.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. Which is kind of, dude, how fucking crazy is that? He made videos and shit. Like,
that's what I'm saying. It's kind of like, it's almost like, when I die, I kind of want to almost do the same thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like a good way to go out, especially as a musician.
Dude, it's so crazy. It came out on his 69th birthday, which is kind of cool. It's pretty long. It's 41 minutes. There's some long ass songs on there too.
Oh yeah.
Like Lazarus is like 6.5 minutes long.
Yeah.
Or the Black Star, the opening track, is almost 10 minutes long, which is kind of crazy. But I remember when this happened. Just to wrap up our Bowie talk. Actually, I'm just gonna say this: if you haven't listened to this album, go and check it out. Go and check out I would say the two really good trilogies of Bowie's personas. So obviously this one with Ziggy Stardust, and I would just group that in with Aladdin Sane, honestly. Yeah. And then kind of check out the Thin White Duke era, like those three in Germany. So go and check those out if you're even interested in David Bowie. But this is top notch shit. Go and check it out. You got any closing thoughts on him in general?
Well, I was gonna add to that. I was just looking that up because I was thinking about had a thought in my head, but that the Black Star album, it's kind of crazy because that whole year of 2016, I don't know why. I mean, I was like working, I guess, and like had a job where I could just have put on headphones and listen to stuff. But 2016 was like a great year for music, and I just realized that a Moonshaped Pool was the same year as that album. So those are both albums that deal with death, and somehow they found a way to make success out of that. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Because they're both good albums. I mean, like, and if they're good albums and you're like, man, this is kind of dark, but you don't realize, and until you look up the info on it, that they're both albums dealing with death. Top Door Glass is Wayfarer. I guess I don't know if they were ever married, but domestic partners or something, maybe.
Who is this? Who is he?
Tom York.
And who?
York. His wife. His wife passed away.
Oh, I did. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah.
Remember, that's what that whole album's about.
Yeah. Is that the last Radiohead album?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, well, I mean, which isn't, but the Smile, it's like, I mean, which is weird because we're like, it's a new side project. They're coming here, dude.
They're coming here too, but I'm not going to see them
Yeah.
because they're playing the fucking Ryman. Like, if you don't have like,
Yeah. You don't want to
come
see
on,
you don't want to go
man.
to the ramen?
No, I've been to the Ryman. I saw Wu Tang at the Ryman. It was awesome, but it was also
Yeah.
like, if you don't
But
have
that's
very specific seats, that show sucks.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah. They're playing the Orpheum here, which the Orpheum here, dude, because we shot in there last week or the week before or something
yeah,
on the show. It's tiny, bro. Like, I mean, the venues here are not that good. I'm like,
yeah,
still haven't been to Tipitina's, but I mean, Tipitina's is like legendary
mm,
place. But yeah, I mean, all the venues are like very small. Like
wow,
uh there's just there's this one venue. I mean, shout out to them. They're good people, but like the Civic Theater is a venue here, and it's like got a balcony terrace, but you load in from like you like literally walk in, and where you load in is like that's the beginning of the stage.
oh god,
Like from the street, and it's like, I mean, it's tiny. And like there's like a bar behind the stage that you walk through, like
yeah,
two double doors. And then
yeah.
like to exit, like we saw Jenny Lewis there and we were exiting, and it was like
Oh,
a
that's
mass
cool.
exodus, and like, but a mass
Oh
exodus and
shit.
like people jammed in, like,
Oh
elbow to
fuck. Oh
elbow.
yeah. Damn.
No, but yeah, we're going
That's
to
cool.
see going to see Beach House in
Oh, nice, nice,
September.
nice. That's cool. Damn, you got a packed fall, huh?
Yeah, dude, we gotta go Beach House, then go to Arkansas, drop off Tino, and then Greece.
Shout out Tino. Yeah.
Yep.
Um. So, anyways, yeah, dude. That I remember when that album came out. You're talking about the Black Star album.
Yeah.
Capped this whole thing off. It was a very weird time. You know, like we're about to have an insane election, like later
Yeah.
on in the year.
Yeah.
But that was all ramping up. Like we're seeing
Yeah.
like the seeds of all
It's
that.
a primary year. Yeah.
Yeah. And this dropped and that whole day, I remember exactly where I was when I found this out. And it was like I was on a show and I was like, man, it just feels weird. Like the whole day felt weird.
Yeah.
Like it was almost like I don't know. It was like a quiet type of situation. Like as far it wasn't like a lot of people didn't make a huge deal about it, but it was like it was a big deal. You know, it was like, holy
Yeah.
shit, like this just happened. I remember being super bummed, like, holy shit, like David Bowie just died. That I didn't think that would
Yeah.
happen, you know. But also like selfishly, I was like, fuck, I'm not gonna get to see fucking David Bowie ever. Like ever.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that
I was gonna ask
sucks.
you because I was gonna ask you, do you regret like not trying to see David Bowie? Like,
I don't think there was
was
a
it just never?
chance.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you, like, there never was a chance? I mean, I'm probably sure even,
Yeah.
the time he was alive, a lot of times it's probably, tickets were so outrageous.
Yeah. I don't think there was a chance for me to see him. Yeah, the one concert I really regret, and I think this is on me and you, honestly.
Yeah.
The one concert I regret not doing is 2007's Lollapalooza.
What was 2007 Lollapalooza?
It was the last time Daft Punk toured.
Oh yeah, damn. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
when they announced their breakup and during pandemic, I was like, fuck this shit, like
Yeah.
so bummed. Also, I'm kind of holding out hope because they've been pushing a
Yeah, I was
lot of
gonna
shit out
say.
about Discovery lately.
Yeah.
So I'm like, maybe they'll change their mind. I don't know.
That's like, yeah, there are a couple like electronic shows I didn't never got to see that I was like, man, I wanted to see Daft Punk, and I wanted to see Justice.
I've seen Justice twice.
Yeah.
And once was amazing. The second time sucked.
Yeah. I'm sure.
Second time was really bad. Like for real.
Yeah.
Which was depressing. But Justice is really good. You have a shot at seeing Justice for sure.
Yeah.
But Daft Punk.
Daft
I don't know, man. Maybe I wasn't thinking about it as much at the time. But also we were both broke as shit.
Yeah.
So it's like we're really gonna go to Chicago. Also, the friend group we had at that time was fucking huge. Like we weren't never gonna convince all those people to go. Like
No.
never.
No.
So Airbnb wasn't a thing. Like
Yeah.
it just seemed out of sight, you know.
Yeah.
But I wish we would have done that. That would have been fucking sick.
Yeah.
There was a lot of shit happening though. We had some like friend group deaths, so that around that time it was kind of wild. But
Yeah.
also insane. Anyways, yeah, go and check out this album, The Rise and Fall of Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars from 1972, which is fucking crazy that this is 50 years old, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
50
yeah, it's
years
just, I
old.
mean, goes to show you that Bowie, I mean, like that's what's crazy is like Bowie, it's like I said, it's still like a cult following now. It's like someone says David Bowie and you're like, yeah, I'm interested. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's just, it still holds up.
Yeah, I agree. It's just, dude, it's so crazy. 50 fucking years old. How
Yeah.
insane. Like almost to the date. Like it came out in June. So
Yeah.
it's like we're pretty close to a 50-year on that one. Maybe that's what this is a 50 this photo disc vinyl. Maybe it's a 50-year reissue or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, go check it out. Top tier Bowie if you're gonna listen to him. Also, it's just an easy album to listen to. I think
Yeah. It is for sure.
it's good. It's got hits.
And like
You'll
another thing I'll add to it too is that like as I find myself, because like right now I've been going like doing a deep dive like in the 70s, kind of, I don't know why, but I find myself like stuck in the 70s, like doing a deep dive, like finding music, like different
yeah.
genres too. I mean, I told you about the whole like reggae, like dance hall
Mm-hmm.
shit I'm going through.
Mm-hmm.
But um, but also like it just, this being in the 70s, like it just, I don't know, I liked it a lot that you picked it because it was definitely like, I feel like our generation, we appreciate the 70s music more than a lot of
Yeah.
people.
Yeah, I think so. The 70s really the 70s was a really insane year, like
Yeah.
decade for music. Like you had stuff like this, but you also had like
Well, it was the time where it was like all these different genres were like
yeah,
finding their own route. You know what I mean? Like glam rock was the thing now.
yeah. You had glam rock, but you also had like probably peak
Punk.
Beatles.
But yeah.
Punk was coming about. You had
Yeah.
the beginnings of hip hop was in the 70s.
Yeah.
You had not quite metal yet, but like
Yeah.
in the 80s you definitely had like what glam rock became was like hair bands.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like probably some people like, this is probably their shit, those hairband people.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like I don't know, they say like that dude Brett from Rolling Stone was saying that this is one of the most important albums in rock. And I think so. I think
Yeah.
it
I would
at the
agree with
time,
that.
do you agree? Yeah.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that.
I think so because it like not only the androgyny thing of it, but like
Like I
just
said,
like
I mean, David Bowie set up the whole new wave thing. I feel like, you know what I mean?
yeah, definitely, definitely. I mean, I
There'd be no Cure. There would be no Joy Division. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
bands like that. That
a lot of those bands are like mentioned actually on some of these articles and stuff about this album. Um,
yeah.
also, this is kind of interesting. For its 40th anniversary in 2017, it was selected for. Oh no, my bad. I'm reading the wrong thing. It was remastered in 2020 or 2012 for its 40th anniversary. But in 2017, it was selected for preservation in the National Recording Registry, being deemed
Nice.
culturally, historically, and artistically significant by the Library of
Nice.
Congress.
Wow.
Yeah. So
High praise.
high praise from your government. But
At least they got
yeah,
something right.
it says this thing is glam rock and proto-punk, which I don't like these like
Proto-Punk.
subgenre bullshit.
That's
Whatever.
kind of Proto-Punk. I never heard that one before. I'm gonna look up that one.
Yeah, it says
I'm
Proto-Punk.
doing a deep dive into Proto-Punk.
Yeah, let me tell you some of the bands that. Oh, it's Proto-Punk, or just okay. Rock music mostly by garage bands from the 60s to 70s. Foreshadowed punk. So who we got? We got Velvet and them, the Velvet Underground, the Shags, MC5, Stooges, and New York Dolls are basically
the Stooges. Yeah, this was gonna get to, man. Like the Stooges. Like there's a oldie station here in New Orleans called Texas FM.
Okay.
And they play like it's just oldies and like, but it's weird because it's not just oldies. I feel like they have like a theme to it as far as like it's like whatever was 50 years or you know what I mean, like 50 years from now. But that's I don't know. So it's kind of all over the place. But they play a lot of Stooges, you know.
Yeah. Apparently the most famous proto-punk song is "My Generation" by the Who in 1965.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, that makes sense.
So yeah, then you got glam rock. Everybody knows what fucking glam rock is.
Yeah.
Also of note, this is kind of interesting. So this album was recorded in only 3 months, from November 71 to February 72.
Yeah,
which is kind of cool. Like I feel like a lot of shit takes longer. You know, we were just talking about fucking Radiohead hasn't had an album in 5 years.
Yeah,
it's crazy. But yeah, man, this is top notch Bowie. If you can, listen to the extended shit, go watch. Oh, shout out to Moon Age Daydream, new Bowie documentary coming out this year. Go and check it out. It looks really cool. It looks like it's a lot of unseen footage and like random stuff from like the Bowie family that they, all those people, the Bowie's people, let them have for this thing. It looks really cool. It looks like it's something that you can generally be like interested by, like in somebody that's like a music doc. I like music docs, but like it looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, man, I don't know. I don't think I got any that I've never talked about this album this long. Like it's kind of nuts.
I know, it's been a while and I have to pee.
I have to pee really bad too. But anyways, like dude, that fucking I was just like trying to add up all the ounces. Like I have like
stop talking about liquids.
It's like 28 ounces of beer in me right now. But anyways, go and check out this album if you have the time. If you have 30 fucking minutes of your life, which you do.
You do. It's worth it.
Yeah, it's worth it. Especially even for people who don't like Bowie as much, like Adam did before this. But
yeah,
it's
a testament of its time too. Like it tells a story of the 70s, I feel like, but in its own way. Like, it does enough to like, to be molded by the industry to its standards, but also still break away and do its own thing and pave the way for, like what we were saying, this whole, what is it called, proto-punk wave?
Proto-punk. Yeah. It definitely feels, that's really good. It makes me feel like if you were a person going to like, little venue shows in the early 70s, this is probably what it looked like,
Well, yeah, I was gonna. That's what I was gonna bring up, about to get into, because I really have to pee.
Yeah.
CBGBs.
CBGBs.
Another one.
Yeah, eventually we'll talk about CBGBs. But anyways, I'll close it out then. It's your boy Pat Artist, Adam Kinetch. We're 2/5 of the Quick Sixer Collective. If you like any of this stuff, go and check us out on all the social medias. We're now on TikTok, so if you want to check out fucking TikTok, if you're into that, but if you listen to this show, you might not be. I don't know. But anyways, go and check out all of that stuff. We're on all of the social medias, Twitter, Instagram, blah blah blah. Like and subscribe to our stuff on YouTube. And yeah, stay tuned for next month's our 14th episode of Dropping the Needle next month in September. And it's your boys. We out.